This. Okay, that's great, man. Congrats. So, so the intent of this video is to cover, why you need to take up this test, or who's the intent audience for this, test. So, another benefits and what you can do after, getting your scores and other things. Okay. So, without any further ado, let's start. So, the first question when you come up something of this kind is why. So why you need something of this kind? So why I need to take up this test? And there are a lot of different things that you can do apart from taking up this test. And why we have that and why you should take up this test is what we are going to discuss throughout this live. So feel free to comment your thoughts. So we'll do some collab work. So please feel free to comment your thoughts. So there are tons of videos explaining you have to prepare this kind, 10-day strategy, 15-day strategy, and there are a lot of things, there are a lot of people who has done that. But I thought of doing why you need to take up this test and who is the intent audience. So who's gonna take this test? Since you are just putting it out and this is a huge company, so they are putting it out and you can take up this test and you can get your scores and get placed in other companies. So is this the way forward? Like after the recruitment is this the way forward for next era? So is this the way forward or you can do something else? So there are tons of companies hiring in a different manner and there will be like a revolutionize. I know it is already revolutionized, and since AI is taking up a lot of the recruitment process and scrutinizing people, and it is shortlisting people by itself. So there are a lot of automation taking place, but these kind of test helps a lot. Okay, so the first question is why. So we'll cover that first and then we'll move on. So why you need this kind of a test? So for the people who has some background of some programming background, it is absolutely fine. You can go ahead and do your job. CSNIT guys, it is absolutely fine. You can get good companies and you have already the knowledge that you need. You are you're overqualified for this test since they ask only the basics and you might expect some data structures. So that is the level that they ask in this NQT. So you don't have to, if you're too good at programming and if you're a competitive coder yourselves, and I think it is a overkill for you to take up this test and get the scores and just publish it over there. So you're just taking up another guy's position. So that is it for them. So other side, so when it comes to other side, when people are struggling to get a job or people are struggling with coding and basic programming is still a hurdle for them. So for those people it is a great opportunity you can grasp, and you can there are a lot of the only thing that fascinates me is the free certification that they give. So the free exam, they provide these exams for free, right? So the only thing is that there are a lot of certifications. So there is certification from Google, there are certifications from IBM, we have AWS, and we have Oracle, and there are a lot of certifications out there. But this one is free. Those cost a lot. It costs ranges from 5K to well over 25K if you go for AWS professional level certifications. So those cost a lot. So this is a free certificate, and this is a great opportunity for you guys to learn and then just show that I have something to show you for the industry. So I have something to show you that I am qualified to this level. Okay, so these apps, and you have you might have seen the procedures or what kind of questions they have and what do they expect basically. So that is the part of why you need to take up this test. It is pretty much overkill for season 80 guys if you are too good at coding, and it is a great opportunity for the other guys. So the non CSN IT background, if you're interested in coding, then you can just show off that I have this certificate, I have this score that you can refer to, and this is from a well reputed company. So that is the why part. And we have already covered the who part as well, so for CS and non-CS ID guys. But the intended, real intended audience is that I never touched upon aptitude. I don't indulge in solving those as well. But when it comes to recruitment, there is still this apps as a barrier for most people. So when it comes to development, they kind of scrutinize people with these apps. Okay, so most companies or maybe 80% of the service or other small companies recruit based upon this aptitude. So the aptitude is it is something different than what you do at the job, right? You are tested in something that you are not being part of. So but the general thing that they test is your ability to solve a problem, your ability to understand something, understand the scenario, and solve accordingly. But these days the trainings are too heavy that they force you I know, memorizing stuff. They force you in memorizing formulas to solve quicker. So that is not the right way to, test your memory, right? So you have something. What they test in aptitude, you need to understand the circumstance, you need to understand the situation and act accordingly, and try to solve the problem at your hand. So that is the primary solution or the primary problem that you are about to solve, right? So but what you do at the job is entirely different. Even it is the same for people who are entering into AWS, or sorry, the Amazon and the big fang, they called as fang companies. But for most companies like that, they don't build any data structures, they don't build any next Google map, they don't build any next Chrome, and they don't do that. But the initial point or the initial step that what they ask is data structures and algorithms. But they don't use it anywhere in their maybe for their initial career journey, they don't even touch that after getting in. So they have put in a lot of work, and that goes like nothing. After you get in, you are just wasting your time. You have wasted your time to just study and do something which you won't actually implement, or you won't do anything with your job. The job title is different, the what they test is something totally different. Okay, so that is for the who part. So if you are into application development, as like freelancer, myself as a freelancer, so when it comes to development, so that is the only thing that you will do after getting into any company you get in. You will develop something, you will test it, and you will put it into production. So that is the three parts of what you will do at a real time job. Okay, so you won't be tested in any aptitude, you won't have any DSA and algorithms, you won't implement that. But there are certain applications which use that. Only for those cases you will use that at to a very minimal level. If you are into big projects based upon the company's requirement. But you won't usually get in service based or other companies, you won't never touch DSA in your career. Like maybe in your initial earlier to mid level of your career, you won't take it up anytime soon. So that is who. When you are kind of that person, when you have already skills of developing applications and deploying it, you don't have to take up this test. In my this is entirely my opinion, so you have different opinions, and there are a lot of opinions coming up. So but the only thing that doesn't change is what you do in a job, right? Once you get in, you won't never use what you have studied, or whatever you have practiced, you won't never touch anything. Okay, this is this is the universal truth, but nobody speaks about this thing. When you get in a job, even when you employed in Google, what you do in Google, you don't build the next different algorithm. Everything has been solved already, which is optimized to the end. So the Google developers has optimized all the algorithms to the end, which with what they can deploy it in your what they have been deploying it in Google Maps or Chrome or any other platform, for an example. Okay, it is well optimized, and you are not going to revolutionize things there. You won't with your skills, just 6 months or 1 year of preparation, you won't revolutionize any data structures and algorithms, you won't find anything new, or you won't implement it in an optimal way. But they ask that. So when you into application development, this is not for you guys. So if you are into application development, I don't really recommend that you take up this test. There are a lot of different ways that you can get inside a company. You if you take up hacker, there are application development, contest. Okay, you have challenges out there. Companies directly post the challenges and they hire from there. So if you are the guy who doesn't want to take up any apps, or who doesn't want to take up anything that is not related to your job, you can definitely skip this out and you can go and find another way of delivering your value to the organization. It is not that you only have this thing to, you have to definitely take up this, and if you don't score well and you won't get any job. It is not like that. There are a lot of ton of opportunities out there, and the hiring is picking up after this pandemic. So you don't have to worry about anything. If you are initially in your career, it is difficult for you guys since it is a pandemic and most companies are limiting their number of hires from various colleges, various institutions across a pan India. So it is difficult for you guys. But if you want to give a try, I don't think that in within a, you have to prepare, right? You'll at least prepare for 5 to 6 days. So instead of preparing for 5 to 6 days for this exam, you can even participate in 5 to 6 hackathons maybe. There are hackathons on Hacker. You can participate in that. You will learn a lot in participating in those. So I highly recommend that you do that. This is my personal opinion. This is my personal opinion. To repeat it again, so this is purely that I intend, and what I will do if I was in this situation. So I think that is what you can do, and the benefits are when you come out with a valid score. When you come out with a valid score, when you clear the benchmarks, you have something that you can show to an employer that I have scored this much, or I have proven record of what you expect. So you don't have to repeat yourself to different companies. So that is the biggest advantage that I see when it comes to this qualifier test. You don't have to repeat the same thing. They're gonna ask the same, the ship problem, or the upstream downstream problem, or the train on the pole. The same is gonna be repeated on all the companies, right? When you have a standard of this kind, when you show your when you show that I have a this score, so the companies can skip the part, right? The companies even skip this part, and go ahead and take up some programming assessment for you, and they can see whether you are fit for their role. So the only benefit, the biggest benefit, or the prime or key benefit that I see in this qualifier test is you don't have to repeat yourself a lot of times. So if you're if there are 10 employees coming to your college and recruiting, and you don't have to repeat all the time. You don't have to revise all your aptitudes. If you, the formulas they study, people I have seen people who study these formulas, they have like a cheat sheet where they write down every formulas, and they keep on seeing to that so that it gets memorized faster, and they solve it by that way. So no, that's it I want to say. So let's see the comments. I haven't seen that. Okay, so okay, I saw the first one, Ninja offer. Gen Z results. Okay, so you are still into Cognizant, not getting information about the company. So you will get it, man. So you don't have to worry about that. No, most companies have started it. Sorry, most people have started their interns. I'm not sure, man. It's been 3 months. You have to contact your POC in your college, so your placement coordinator or someone who can help you with that. Since it is 3 months since most people have started already, so you were already behind many people. So you can definitely reach out to them. So you can reach out. So TCS or ATS. So this is another question that I get quite a lot. Both are service-based companies. One is from India, another from US. So if you want to work in abroad, let's say in this pandemic it is difficult, but CTS has a good record of people. getting or onboarding people to abroad. So if you can take the stats, I think I have shared it on my LinkedIn profile as well. So it ranks on third or fourth. If I am right, it ranks on fourth. So behind Apple. So that is the number of record that CTS has for getting people outside of India. So they give opportunities for on-site a lot. So if you are into that, I think both the companies are similar. They do, they have their both service-based companies. You won't feel any difference. But if you are into some roles, well, let's say if I am good at cybersecurity, or if I am good at AI and ML, so you can, if you are specific about your roles, then you can choose accordingly. If you are too specific about ANML, you can join CTS since they have a lot of clients abroad. So those they will implement this ANML faster, and they need to supply those in a faster phase. So if you are into that, those kind of advanced tech, I highly recommend that you see the job roles and then apply for either of those. For the earlier guys, if you are just starting out, both are similar. It is just a case that which comes first, or it's your choice. Or you if you can, you can even do a cheap shot. You can compare the CTC, how much you get, and you can even go with that as well. So that is easier way of classifying these two. So I think that's it. We had a few questions. So I'll wait for a few questions. If there is none, then we will close this out. And another thing that I want to share is that if you have seen my previous lives on Cognizant, I know still there are people who are asking the same thing again and again. So if you can read the comment section out, it will be very easier for you guys to understand what is going on and what are the questions that has been already answered. So I have an FAQ if you wanna quickly see through all the questions people have asked. So that might help, and you can see the comment section as well. So most people have asked a ton of questions, so you can find your answers in the comment section. So that is the thing that I want to share. I think that's it. We don't have see any questions. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching. So stay tuned. I'll go live tomorrow to teach you a little on C sharp. So stay tuned. Take care. See you on the next one.